La-di-da-di-da. Oh. Oh, stretch there. Oh, man. So much better. Here we go.
Are you just trying to navigate adulthood in a world that still expects you to have it all figured out? Welcome to This is 50 with your host, Travis Holmes.
I'm scared. I'm scared. I've never really, not necessarily scared. I'm worried, for things that are going on here, in my life, this existence that I have right now. I told you a few weeks back that I went to my doctor's appointment, and I keep getting emails about your test results. And the test results are basically, they're just an email. They don't bring you in the office anymore. They don't bring you into the, you don't have a one-on-one anymore, unless, I guess, fingers crossed. Like hey, we need come on in, Travis. We need you in here pronto. We have to hook you up to something. And so it's one of those out of state, out of minds. Men, in general, don't like to go to the doctor. I don't mind going to the doctor. I really don't. I like the doctor. I like my new doctor that I have now. She's not real preachy. The last one I had was real preachy. Oh, you can't eat meat. They come from cows. Well, no shit. You can't eat chickens. You can't eat chicken that comes from an animal that runs on the earth. And yeah, if we didn't eat chickens, then cows and chickens would take over the whole entire earth. Wasn't there a cartoon called Cow and Chicken? I remember that being fun. I remember enjoying that as a teenager growing up. But I keep getting emails from my Atrium Healthcare saying, hey, you still haven't looked at your results. Now, this is March 7th. The only reason why I know that is because I keep getting, hey, your March 7th results are here. Make sure you go in there and tell us how we did and all this stuff. And I've been scared because, not for nothing, I have been trying so hard since Thanksgiving, eating better. And I say eating better. My wife and I, we don't eat horrible here. Because we have to make everything at home. But like today, she asked me, I do the normal grocery shopping and plan on the meals for the rest of the week. She's like, all right, so what are we eating tonight? Friday night. It's Friday night. We like to drink beer and play cards. Well, she drinks wine and I drink beer and we play cards. And I always go, pizza, just to see if it'll bounce off of her. And this time it stuck. It stuck right on her. She's like, going, okay, get me a Supreme, from the Walmart, from the deli or whatever. And, frozen, not a frozen pizza, the deli one. I get the frozen one. Or if we really feel ambitious, we'll actually get the dough, let it proof, and then make it. She's like, yep, get what you want. But she's like, between the two of us, we have to eat the whole pizza that night, Friday night. I'm like, okay. But what about breakfast in the morning? She's like, yeah, that's right. All right, get yourself one and get me one, the Saturday morning scaries type deal. So I got a pizza for both of us. But the reason why I'm scared is, not for nothing. What do they say? Idle hands is the devil's tool. And now that my wife is essentially out of the house from Tuesday to Thursday evening, I don't see my wife technically till Friday morning, maybe. I see her Friday afternoon or not Monday afternoon. I see her Monday because she works from home. And then I see her again on Friday because she works from home. Saturday, I see her, we spend the whole day together, me and her. And then Sunday, it's essentially, she's got a horse stuff that she does. And then it's, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I lose her. She's gone. I'm like, all right, well, just because I'll play PlayStation and stuff. But the reason why I say that is because idle hands, I drink a shit ton of beer. It's just part of my daily routine. It's not I don't want to say it's a problem. It's not a problem, but I know it's not. It's, at a certain point, it's not good for you. So it's nothing for me to start like at 12 o'clock, and I'm working on all the other podcasts and stuff. I've got stuff to do. I'm working here on the property and working on my job, which is this right here. And, drink, have a beer, work on this and have a beer and work on this and do all this stuff. And, you're not supposed to do that every day, but you do. And so I'm worried about like the test results back from, given the blood work and stuff. And I hear about my dad. My mom passed away 2 years ago. She had a heart attack. I forget what age she actually had a heart attack. I think I'm coming up on that age. So I always think about that. That's in the back of my mind. I'm 51 now. I think my mom was maybe 50 something when she had her first one, but she wasn't the pinnacle of healthcare or health, taking care of herself. And she passed away. They always say too soon. Well, you don't expect it unless you hit the nines, the 90s. 92. He passed away too soon. What are you talking about? He was 90 fucking 2. My dad turned 78 this year. And, I'm hearing all the stuff about his A1C or AC1 or whatever. I don't know what it's called. It's too high. It's in the 8s and stuff. And so I'm scared to look at my blood work, my blood, whatever it is, at my, from the email. Because I'm afraid of, stopping and giving up is a change. It's a change. It's not giving up something. I'm not worried about that. That's not what I'm worried. It's the change, a routine, a daily, it's nothing for me to get up and start my day and work and stuff. And then look at my watch. I'm like, oh, it's, 12:30. Well, might as well have a drink while I'm doing this and doing that and working on all my other stuff. But I know that takes a toll on you. Now, I do eat well. I rarely try to not to eat out at all. We went down to Florida this past weekend. We ate horrible. All the way down, we ate horrible. Bags of chips, Cheez-Its. What else did we get? We stopped for those barbecue sandwiches at Buc-ee's. God, what a dump that is. What a ripoff Buc-ee's is. If you don't know what Buc-ee's is, look it up. It's some kind of Texas, everything's bigger in Texas. It's this Texas gas station that's taken over the world. It's the brand new thing, beef jerky. And it's like having a Sonny's barbecue or barbecue pit, a convenience store, and every single Daytona Beach, souvenir shop, all in one location. So we went there. But other than that, I try to eat well. I try to eat very well. I try to keep chips and everything else. But so I told myself, I'm tired of being scared because for the last, what's today? March 22nd. So for the last 2 weeks, I don't know what my blood work is. So I'm scared to read it. And I'll read it. I'll read it coming up here. For the first time, I'll read it and we can go through it. And we can all be calm and patient together. In the meantime, I'm going to take a quick little break and get a refill. So stick around. I'll be right back. Something that they always say. I say they always say. Who are these people? Watching TikTok, and it's one of those shower thought things. And what do they say? You've taken the picture that's already. You've taken the picture that will appear at your funeral. Which, God almighty, that's a scary thought. That really is a scary thought. You've already taken that picture that's going to appear at your funeral. And the reason why this thought popped into my head, outside of me panic mode, I'm going to have a heart attack. I'll get into my test results here shortly. My dad was going through, I told you about, everything he's been going through, but he got his steroid shots in his legs and now he can walk around. He's fine. He thinks he's Mr. Bojangles dancing around. And so I had a whole bunch of this. It's the first day of spring, and I had a whole bunch of stuff that I needed to get done on the property the other day. And when I say a whole bunch of stuff, I'm talking just lawn maintenance. We have 22 some odd acres here. And thank God, 16 of those acres is horse pastures or undeveloped. But the house does sit on about 5 acres of actual landscape, bushes, grass, trees, hedges, all that needs to be cut, trimmed, maintained. And getting into spring here in the Carolinas, everything's just dormant, and all of a sudden, it just pops up. Everything's growing. So it was my goal to get the lawn mowed, to get everything string trimmed out, to do the hedges, and put the fertilizer and stuff down for spring. Well, part of the process is aerating the soil. Now, if you don't know what aerating the soil is, here in the Carolinas, our soil sucks. I'm from Florida. I'm used to that grassy or that sandy loam where you can basically, dig down 4 feet and you hit water. There's no roots, there's no rocks, there's nothing in the way. Here, it's that hard Carolina quartz clay. It's bad. It's bad. So you physically have to go out there with this big medieval barrel that's got spikes on it and roll it all over the ground to poke all these holes in it. So when you put seed down or fertilizer down, it gets in the fucking holes. You don't want it sitting on top. Rain comes around, there it goes. See you later. $300 worth of fertilizer down into the creek, and then all of a sudden the fish on the pond down the road, down at Capers Pond, down the road, all the fish are dead. How'd this happen? I don't know. You just shrug it. I don't know. So my dad, now that he's more mobile, sits on the back porch. Weather's a little bit nicer for him, so he sits out there instead of being in a complete Eskimo parka. When it's below 60 degrees, it's so cold. He's out there with a light jacket on, and he's got long pants on. And I said, Dad, you want to do something today? I said, how you feel? You want to do something today? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, what do you need me to do? I said, you think you can drive the side-by-side around and aerate the soil while I mow? Because essentially that's 2 jobs, and, it's one less thing I have to do going over the property. Oh, yeah. I said, well, Dad, jump in the side-by-side, get yourself a beer or two, and I'll back you up, and we'll hook up the aerator to you. It's a big barrel you drag behind. I say drag, it rolls behind the side-by-side. I said, just drive all over the lawn. There's no pattern. There's no nothing. I said, but, just get it in there. And I had to explain aerating and how that works and stuff. So he drives around. He's driving around, and he's going in circles, and we're passing each other. I'm on the mower, the big 0-turn mower, and he's passing me. And he's like, do you want me to do over there? Yeah, do everything, Dad. I said, if you can see dirt through the grass, do it double. That's the main thing. If you don't see the dirt through the grass, that means that's good. If you see dirt through the grass, that means it's kind of, let's aerate that. So in the process of doing that, of course, you guys know we have horses here. The front pasture, which is our main pasture, that's the one where we can, if you know anything about horses, that's where you can feed the horses. You keep one pasture rich. I don't know if that makes any sense. You keep it rich with grass, and then you can bring them on for a couple hours and then bring them off. It's kind of like having, chocolate chip cookies out there for all the horses if they were kids. So you bring them out there for a little bit, and then you take them back off. That way you save a little bit of money on hay. I'm like, Dad, I need to aerate that too, the front pasture. So he's out there going around in circles, round and round and round and round. And it's kicking up dust and stuff. And so I start videotaping them. And in my mind, I start going, is this it? Is this the video that's going to play at my dad's funeral? Is this, and I'm taking pictures of him on the side-by-side. He's waving. Is this the picture that's going to appear at my dad's funeral? What picture of mine? Now, if you've ever, for all of you that follow us on the Facebook page, I changed the icon, the logo, the profile pic all the time. And it's me doing just, whatever in the video. I've caught it midstream or whatever. It's a weird look or weird face or something like that. Is that going to appear in my funeral? Is that picture going to appear in my funeral? Maybe it will. Maybe it will because, maybe that captures my essence, my personality. I don't know. So it was just a thought that I had when I was taking a picture of my dad because, my mom passed away and usually one goes right after the other. And I'm thinking, well, my dad's kind of doing better. Damn it. He's doing better. He's doing well. I mean, good for him. He's getting along, but goddamn, he's eating those frozen meals. All right, when we come back, I promise I'll read the test results from my blood work because I haven't read them yet. I have no idea what they say. I'll dive into that and let me know. I say let me know. I'll let you know exactly what my test results were, good or bad or indifferent. All right, guys, stick around. I'll be right back. So if you're watching this on the YouTube video, I went downstairs. My wife said that someone's here to buy eggs. Now we sell eggs here on the property. And went down there. Young guy, probably early 30s, coming up on early 30s. He's like, hey, man, I was here a couple of weeks ago. I didn't have any cash. And he's like, I'd like to buy some eggs from you. I'm like, all right, no problem. So I go, how many you want? He goes, just 1 dozen. I'm like, all right, no problem. 1 dozen. $3. I know. It's a highway robbery, right? So he introduced himself. He goes, thank you very much. My name's Trevor. And I go, Travis. And he goes, no, Trevor. It's some skit out there. I go, no. My name's Travis. Your name's Trevor. He goes, you know how many times I've been called Travis? I go, do you know how many times I've been called Trevor? I said, it's the burden. It's the burden of having these names. It's our downfall. They can't get our names right, which is weird. I don't know. I got told I'd look like a Kevin at one time, but nonetheless. So I promise you, like I said, watching us here on the YouTube video and on our Facebook page, make sure you guys follow us over there. I told you I was going to read the test results. So might as well dive into it. So here we go. This is Atrium Health, my Atrium, which is great. I've never had anything like this before. I think back in the day when, you had problems or test results and stuff, you physically had to go back in and see your test results. Well, I don't like the looks of this. Kidney function. Give me 1 sec while it loads up here. So Dr. Hamlin. Here we go. Reading it. Hi, Travis. It looks like one of those instant messaging. It's like a bubble from my doctor. Hi, Travis. It was good seeing you in the office. Your blood counts, electrolytes, kidney function, liver function, A1C, the diabetes test, PSA level, and thyroid function are all normal. Oh, man. Hold on. Here we go. I knew it. Drinking that turmeric and the cayenne pepper in my drink has saved my life. Oh, what's this say? Cholesterol is not quite at the goal. Keep working on a lower calorie, low carb diet and exercise. Well, I'm starting to do now that it's springtime here in Carolinas, I got a bicycle I've been riding. Many of my patients have had success with the Mediterranean diet. Here's a helpful link. The rest of the minor highs and lows on your labs are clinically irrelevant. I don't know if I want to hear that. Hopefully you have a wonderful day, Dr. H. So what's the main thing you're supposed to look for? TSH. TSH is normal. It's right in the middle. Let's see what else she has going on here. View results. PSA results right in the middle. Oh, here's all the lab tests up. So CBC differential, everything looks like I'm right in the middle. Everything lines up correctly. Let's see. Hemoglobin, A1C with essential. This is the main thing my wife worries about. And it says my hemoglobin A1C is valued at 5. I guess that's good. My estimated average glucose is 97, which is, I guess 117 is a normal range. Anything below that, and anything below on the A1C, anything below 5.7 is good. Now my dad sits around 8. I know that because he's told me that, and they want to get that down for him. So I'm not pre-diabetic, which is good. We have another sip to celebrate that one. Lipid, I don't know what that is. Cholesterol, total lipid panel, 214. Acceptable is 200, so I'm right there. I'm close to it. Triglycerides, anything below 150, I'm at 299. But didn't she say, hold on, I know you can't see my screen here, but the rest of the minor highs and lows on your labs are clinically irrelevant. Well, okay. So I can pretty much ignore all the other stuff. Cholesterol is 118. It says near optimum, but why is that high? Between 100 and 129 is supposed to be near optimal. And I'm at 118, and she's got me marked down as high. What does she know? What does she know? And my non-HDL cholesterol is at 161, which I guess is normal. So there you go. I'm not dying. At least this week, I'm not dying. I feel better that I've read those. I can get that off my chest because I have been worrying about it. You know, when you take your blood test, I don't mind, like I said, I don't mind going to the doctor. I don't mind giving the blood work and stuff. I just don't want to see the results. I just want to say, you know, I guess they haven't, like I said, they haven't called me in to say, oh, no, Travis, you got to come in here quick. We got to fix you. We got to put something in your system because you are out of control. No, I guess I'm good. So the basic diet, I've been doing the Whole30 diet, 5 out of the 7 days, 4 out of the 7 days if I can. And then drinking the beers, the occasional beers. I say occasional. My routine beers every day. I'm doing good. I guess I got to get my cholesterol down. Now, I do eat a lot of hard-boiled eggs. Not boiled eggs. Hard-boiled eggs. Because we do, like I said, just sold a bunch of eggs to this gentleman that came up here. We do have chickens on the property, so it's nothing for me to eat 3 hard-boiled eggs for breakfast every morning. You know, a little salt and have avocados on the side. So I got to figure that out. I'm hoping there's something I can take that will help lower my cholesterol, because I've been doing, you know, the magnesium. I do have high blood pressure medicine. I've been doing vitamin D3, and I've been starting to take the beet juice chews. So maybe I can get that down. But of course, exercise, I don't get a lot of stuff. This thing right here tattles on me all the time. If you're watching me on the video, this thing right here tattles on me. It's one of those smartwatches that says, hey, fatso, get up and move. But because I've got a sedentary job for the most part. All right. Well, good news for me. All right. When we come back, my neighbor, sometimes, I mean, he's a great guy, but sometimes you're just like, going, man, just get with the times, man. Just go with the times. And maybe I'm the one that needs to get with the times. So I'll talk about that story here in just one sec. So stick around. I'll be right back. Oh, that would have been bad. Going through my Facebook feed every day just to kind of catch up with everyone that you know, see how they're doing and making sure everyone's all right. I do play Burn Notice. If you don't know what Burn Notice is, you need to watch Bob's Burgers. I do play Burn Notice now and then when I see posts that are just like so totally fucking stupid. I just sit there what do you mean by this? And people are like, you're an asshole. Well, I know I'm an asshole. I know that. That's the problem. I know I'm an asshole. But then I saw this guy who posted on Facebook the other day and said, hey, 6 months sober, thumbs up. And he shows the picture of him working like a construction job, all ate up and stuff. And then him now 6 months later, 6 months sober in the gym working out. His face is full in. It's not as gone anymore. And, I'm like going, I always ask. I don't give a shit. Everyone praise them. Good luck. Congratulations. Way to go. Stay with it. I always go, what were you addicted to? Same reason why when people die. Oh, Tom Harry died. No, not Tom Harry. He was so young. Hearts and prayers and, for the family. You know what I always say? How'd he die? I always do it. How did he die? And the silent prayers? Fuck that. I need silent prayers. Don't ask me any questions. Fuck you. Hail Satan. That's what you get from me. No, but this one guy, I'm going to call him Aaron. He posted that, hey, I'm 6 months sober and life is great. God is beautiful, blah, 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 whatever. Stick it in a Hallmark card and ship it off to your mom. So I asked him, I said, what were you addicted to? And he essentially had the nerve, or not the nerve, but had the courage to send me. I was addicted to basically everything, but he said mostly opioids. And I go, well, good for you. I said, I've lost a couple friends of mine in my time through heroin addiction and opioid addiction and cocaine addiction and so on and so forth. I can make a laundry list of everyone that I've lost and what they died from. Nothing natural. I said, well, good for you, man. Hey, keep it up. And that was it. I didn't want to say I'm thinking about you all the time because it's like a third party Facebook friend. I don't know him that well. I'm just like, going, hey, man, cool, good, thumbs up, keep going. But then, with today's society, I know when I say today's society, God, I got to get off this front porch. But they always say about, what be careful what you post on your Facebook page because employers will look at that. Well, no one's going to hire me if they look at any of my Facebook pages. And I've got like 6 or 7 of them. This being one, This is 50 is one of them that we post a lot of stuff on it. But this is my job. This is what I do. So if I ever had to go get a job at Walmart or something, they're like going, so tell me about this whole whatever you're doing here type deal. Oh, well, that was a joke and a prank. But when you say something like, hey, I'm 6 months sober, hey, I'm 11 months sober, and you've got an employer, I'm not talking corporation employer. I'm talking, a local level employer. If they go to your Facebook page and see, hey, look, hey, 6 months ago, this guy was fucking hopped up on hoopy pills, and now he's clean and sober. Do I want to hire him to be my crane operator? Do I need to worry about that? So unless his actual, page is set to private, which if you're going to post those things, be private about it because you don't know who's going to look at you and who's going to judge you. Because I will. I will definitely look at you and judge you. Not because of what you've done, not because of whatever, but if you were like going, hey, I'm the best tile layer in the county. 6 months ago, I'm clean, I'm sober 6 months. I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to hire you right away. That type deal. I know we were talking about the doctor and stuff. And my doctor, she's cute. She's young. She's probably just turned 30. And I say she's cute. She's, in the room full of 3-eyed woman, the 2-eyed woman looks beautiful. For a doctor in my area, downtown Charlotte, she's cute. She's a doctor of internal medicine. But there's something here on the property that we have is we call it the funnel. Now, we broadcast out of a 800 square foot studio. It's above our 3-car garage It's finished completely. If you're looking at this here on the YouTube video, you can see it's all finished. It's got lighting, it's got electric, AC, heating. We've cut the room in half. There's a door for like office space on the other side, and then the studio's on this side. And it's a detached garage from the house. So in order for me to go to the bathroom, I know I'm a guy, I have to go down a flight of stairs, across the garage, across the sun deck, up a flight of stairs, into the house, open the door, take a left, and go inside and use the bathroom. Like I said, oh, but you're a guy. You can just, whip it out and do whatever. I do downstairs. Out of the 3 bays, one of the bay I've turned into a tool corral, tool room. Keep all the big power tools and stuff in there to because of the property that we have, chainsaws and chop saws and table saws and anything that's got a saw on it or anything like that. And there's a window in there, and I've taken a PVC pipe and taped a funnel to the top of it. You can see where I'm going. Stuck it out the window, hung a nice big old fancy drape in front of it, so I can literally just go downstairs, pee in the funnel, come right back out. I know. TMI, right? But I don't know what's wrong with me. Well, there's a lot of things wrong with me. But guys, when I go to the bathroom, here we go. This is where I lose half the audience, the female part of the audience. When I go to the bathroom, I always have like this little, let's put it this way, instead of being too descriptive. There's a reason why there's a fluffy mat around the toilet on the floor. There's a reason why there's some kind of carpet that you can put in front of the toilet, male or female toilet, doesn't matter. And that carpet can come up and go in the wash. There is how do I put it? I got a full stream ahead, right? Full stream ahead. But for whatever reason, I get a couple little I'm at a loss for words here. I get a couple little drops on the ground. And it's all the time. Now, the more I have to pee, the more the drops come out. I know. There goes the other third of the audience. And so I have to, clean up the floor and I have a sanitizer and stuff that I use out there by the funnel. And then, of course, in my bathroom, I have to constantly take that carpet and I try to stand over why don't you just stand over the toilet and pee straight down in it? Sometimes it doesn't work, brother. It really doesn't. There's a reason why there's an elongated toilet. When a guy stands over it, I put my hand on the wall and, kind of like I'm looking over the edge of a cliff. I'm looking down and sometimes it just doesn't land in the toilet. It's just the nature of what nature is. But I had a relationship with a girl when I was DJing in strip clubs. Here we go. This story is going to get even better. Who had a boyfriend. Don't they all, right? She had a boyfriend, a serious boyfriend. They lived together. But the weird part was that me and her were having sex. And it was a new relationship between the two of us. We would have sex, and then she's like, yeah, Chad's got to come pick me up. I'm like, all right. Does he ask? No, he doesn't ask. I'm like, all right, it's kind of weird relationship. And it's the fucking stripper world, right? So we're dating, sex, I don't know what you want to call it, for at least 3-4 months. And she comes up to me in the club. Now, I'm the DJ in the club. Not the corny, hey-oh-hey-oh-yeah, not that guy. I'm just, as you hear me here, it's exactly the way I was in the club. Really? You talk about peeing on the floor? No, I don't talk about peeing on the floor. But my voice has not changed. Everything's the same. my triglycerides and my cholesterol is probably lower back then. This is, I was, late 20s, but everything else is still the same. So she comes up to me and she says, do you have anything like a disease? Like she's like looking at me like fierce. Did you give me something? And I'm like going, whoa, babe, whoa. No, I am as clean as a whistle. Thistle on July. I'm fine. Why? She said, because Chad was screaming in the bathroom the other day that his dick was burning. I said, okay, so I guess you and Chad are still hooking up and me and you are still hooking up. I didn't say that to her, but, just like, I thought we were, thought you guys were done. Anyways, I said, no, I have no idea. She's like, well, she's freaking out and they're getting in arguments because his dick's burning and all this other stuff. I know, really, really intense. So she comes back to me a week later. We don't talk for a while. We don't do anything for a while. She comes back to me a week later and says, I'm sorry, Travis. I didn't mean to yell at you the other night, a week ago, about my boyfriend having a burning penis. I said, oh, really? Okay, cool. Apology accepted. Move on. I'm not going to sit here and harp over. I'm just that kind of guy. All right, fine. No problem. She's like, I just wanted to tell you that, and I've never heard of this before, and I've been a guy for a long time now. She said, because he went to the doctor, that the doctor said that the hole in the little man, in his mushroom head, a piece of the skin had attached itself to the other side. I said, what? She's like, yeah. His pee-pee hole, you signed up for this. His pee-pee hole, a piece of the skin from one side of the pee-pee hole attached to the other side. So somewhere, the doctor said you must have nicked or scratched or caught in a zipper type deal, Beans and Franks. Caught, and the way it healed itself over the actual urethra hole. And so as he was peeing through, God almighty, we are so going to get canceled for this. He was peeing as if you had a garden hose and you stuck like your thumb over one part of it. I said, okay, so what happened? Well, they cut the piece with a scalpel. I said, God almighty. Woo! I know half the audience, the other half is still listening to us. The other third is still listening to us. It's grabbing their balls going, holy shit. So she's like, I'm sorry. It wasn't you. It was him and his gross deformed penis that was trying to close up his pee hole. So what started our conversation, this path that we went down, this urethra path, is when I pee, I see these little drops on the ground. I don't know of anyone else that pees and have drops on the ground. And you say, well, what do you know? I do several other different podcasts here, and they're all males that come here to the studio, and we do the podcast and stuff. A lot of serious stuff, not the stuff, not pee-pee hole stuff here on This Is 50. And everyone uses that funnel downstairs. They love it. They're like, oh my God, this is great. And I look behind them, not that I'm taking notes or anything, and there's no pee drops on the floor. And, there's 4 or 5 guys that use the hole. And then I go out there and there's just this puddle of pee on the floor. So I'm like, is there something wrong with my hole to where it, for whatever reason, the pee comes out and there's just that little drip, that little catch? Is there a skin flap or something I need to worry about that drips on the floor? That's it. I'm going to leave it at that. If you guys want to respond, you can respond to over on the Facebook page. That's This Is 50 over on Facebook. All right. All right. Hey, come back. Everyone come back. Come back in the studio. Or come back to the show. We had a tree fall down the other day, and my neighbor is one of those people that likes to buy everything battery operated. And we had a back and forth about this tree being dropped on the ground. So I'll dive into that story when we come back. I have to go to the bathroom down at the funnel, so I'll be right back. I'm honestly really surprised at my test results. You know, I was thinking the worst because since my mom passed away, I don't want to say it hasn't been easy because my mom and I really didn't have like that kind of relationship. When she passed away, you know, my dad had no idea what to do with her. They didn't have a plot. They didn't have, you know, where they were going to bury. My dad was worried about burying her. And I said, Dad, just cremate her. Just cremate her. Well, we've never cremated anyone in the family. Dad. Then he saw the price of what it would cost to bury her. And, you know, her life insurance policy and all that was like $15,000. He's like, oh, I can't do it because he was worried about living, you know, outside, you know, past my mom. And he's like, I can't do it. I said, just cremate her, Dad. Cremate her. They'll put her in a box and you can have her in your room. At the time, he didn't realize that, you know, he was going to live up here with us. I said, and you can have her and she'll be by your side all the time. So when we had a viewing and she was in that cardboard box that they put the body in before they cremate them. I don't know if you know that or not. They charge you like $500 for this, you know, state issued box. But we had like a viewing party for her. But they did decorate the box, and I said decorate, and I use that term loosely. They did throw a sheet around the box and then put a sheet up to about where her chest would be. So you didn't really see anything. And, you know, when she passed away, everyone left the room, and I said, give me a minute with my mom. And I kind of looked at her and I said, okay, you know, Mom, this is it. You know, I didn't really cry, didn't really do anything like that. And, so I said, you know, see you later, tapped the box, walked out the door, and that was that. So that was just an experience that I had. And back to, you know, you never know when you're going to take that last picture and stuff. So I just figured I'd throw that out there because I never really told anyone what happened when my mom passed away. But I was so worried about, you know, 2 years ago that, you know, my life, the internal, you know, guys hold things in, that it would get the best of me. For the last 2 years, I really haven't discussed any of this with anyone. So maybe, you know, for every hour of me talking about it, maybe one less of these will go down, and maybe I can get my triglycerides down a little bit. Because I do use this for therapy, and I hope a lot of you out there will use this as therapy as well. I don't do this for anyone else. I'm not doing this for ratings. I'm not doing this for a money grab or anything like this. I'm just doing it to help me so I don't bite anyone's heads off here on the property. So hopefully it'll benefit someone out there. I showed my dad how to use the air fryer. I told you that my dad, you know, he lives with me, and he eats constantly frozen meals all the time. Marie Callender's, some lean cuisines, but everything's frozen. And I said, Dad, you know, let me show you how to use the air fryer. So I told you that, you know, he's been using the air fryer. He buys like the chicken thighs with the bone in. I'm like, all right, Dad, put the skin down, put it in the air fryer. When the timer goes off, you know, punch it over to where it says chicken. You know, if you're watching this here on the video here, I'm doing a lot of hand gestures. Put it on where it says chicken. When the timer goes off, pull it out, flip it over, do it again. Nice and crispy. The skin's it's nice and crispy, nice and juicy. It's perfect every time. And so he's like, wow, this is really good. This is really easy and really good. All I have to do is plan ahead of time, because it takes 20 minutes on one side and 20 minutes on the other side. Now, you could probably cut that down a little bit because he's only put one piece in there, but still. So he ran through a 10-pack of chicken thighs, bone in. So when he went to go grocery shopping the other day, thank God he can stand up and walk around and get around and stuff. He went and bought another thing of chicken thighs. I'm like, okay, great, Dad. You enjoyed that? And he's like, yeah. And I told my dad, I said, because we got chicken thighs too in the freezer, for my wife and I, we have to meal plan. I said, if you put yours in there, just put the letter D on it. Dad. So we did that this past time. So he puts all the chicken thighs in there and he puts D on it. And I don't know what happened. I was doing another show and I came downstairs and it was dinner time. And I said, so how'd your dinner go? He goes, horrible. I go, why horrible? He goes, well, he said, horrible. I said, why horrible? He goes, it was like a hockey puck. I go, what? I don't know why it sounds Jewish. I said, what do you mean it was like a hockey puck? He goes, and I'm going to speak normal now. He goes, I didn't realize the chicken thighs that I bought, they make a boneless, skinless chicken thigh, and they make a regular chicken thigh with the bone and skin on. He goes, I got the boneless, skinless. So I took this little piece of flappy meat and threw it in the air fryer for the same time that would have been the bone and skin on. So he cooked this thing to a fucking charcoal briquette. He goes, it was about the size of a Zippo lighter when it was done. He goes, I couldn't even eat it. He goes, no matter how much barbecue sauce I put on it. I go, Dad. He goes, you could have the rest of them. I said, no. You just have to adjust your cooking thing. Nothing's ruined. So he had like 6 other chicken boneless, skinless thighs in the freezer. I said, Dad, all you got to do is fix your timing. Maybe put it in on the one side and then that's it. Oh, it's, modern technology. He's sitting there probably hitting buttons and doing all this stuff. I know what he's doing now. He just like the microwave. He'll put it in there for 2 minutes and pull it out. Dude, look at it. Put the thing back in. Another 2 minutes, pull it out, look at it. He just wants to get that sweet zone. But I feel bad because, when it gets his dinner time, which is 6 o'clock, and I can't sit there and babysit him. I get him set up, but I just can't sit there and babysit him. He's, oh, you're busy. I don't want to bother you and all that. I mean, Amy's busy and I don't want to bother her. And I'm like, all right, Dad. Then you're on your own. So, yeah, he took that boneless, skinless chicken thigh and put one in there. If you ever seen them before, they're good size. About the size of a cell phone. When he was done, it was about the size of a freaking Oreo cookie. I felt bad for him, but hey, you know what? If you don't speak up, no one's going to help you. So we had a windstorm the other day, whipped through the Carolinas. Now, I was born and raised in Orlando, Florida, and rainstorms, dime a dozen. You can set your watch by the sea breezes coming across the East Coast, and they meet up on the West Coast, and then boom, you've got from Tampa to Daytona Beach, thunderstorms, 40 minutes, boom, it's gone. Maybe it'll linger around a little bit, but it sounds like the earth is opening up, and then it's gone, and a little drizzle and little remnants left behind. Here in the Carolinas, we're at the bottom of the mountain hill. I don't know. I make that shit up. Make shit up all the time. But we do get a lot of wind here, surprisingly. And we've got a couple trees on the property that are dead. Just the nature of trees living in the wild. They die off. And we got a huge oak tree out there. And I say oak tree, like it's probably, if you're watching me here on the video here, it's probably a good, 2-3 feet in diameter. That's dead. We're just waiting for that thing to snap off and hit the ground. Luckily, there's no fences or anything around. But we do have 2 little smaller trees, gum oaks or something like that. I think my neighbor called them. That snapped off and landed on, partially landed on the fenced-in chicken area. Now, our chickens are fenced in just for protection, but we do leave the gate open so they can come in and out as they want. So if predator comes in, they can run in there and hide. But it hit this part of the fence. So I said there's 2 dead trees next to each other. One of them flipped over. That's the one that hit the chicken fence. And then this other one's still up there. I'm like going, well, this one's going to be next. So I need to go ahead and drop this down now. And I'm sitting out there and I've got, you guys are going to laugh at me. I've got a 9-inch Ryobi battery operated chainsaw. I like it, but the RPMs are not there. It's, you know, bzzz, and I'm sitting there, I've sharpened the chain, and I'm cutting it. My dad, you know, trying to help. I'll help you, you know, clean up the mess and stuff whenever you're ready. I'm like, all right. So he's out there, and he's cleaning up the mess, and I'm sitting there chopping this other one down. He goes, where's that going to fall? I go, well, Dad, if you chop it here and here and here, it's going to drop right there. How do you know? I go, because I cleared this whole entire fucking property by myself. I'm holding my hand in front of the camera there. Sorry. I've cleared this whole entire property. I know where to cut it and how it's leaning and stuff. I've done it a million times on this property. Okay. So it drops. And when it drops, thump. And if you're living around or standing around, the ground shook. So sure enough, little neighbor's kid comes over. What you doing? You know, the little Nazi next door. I said, just trimming up this tree. And my neighbor, who's an American Airlines pilot, comes over and I'm at this time I've broken out my steel. It's called the Steel Farm Boss chainsaw. Now, I haven't fired it up in probably 4 or 5 months, so I'm sitting there, you know, anyone out there who knows what that sound is knows exactly what's going on. The gas in there is old, or the fuel, whatever. Anyways, so I'm out there, the tree's dropping. I'm trying to cut it up in logs. So he comes over. Can I help you? Travis, can I help you? I'm like, what? So he leaves and comes back, and he's got a Milwaukee, the red color, right? Milwaukee, 16-inch blade, chainsaw, battery operated. I look at him, I said, that's not going to go through this because I'm out there fighting with the little Ryobi before. Hence me switching over to the Farm Boss. And he goes, oh, hold on. And he gets right next to me. And, you know, the tree's, 30 feet long. And he gets right next to me. And I said, all right. So he goes, zzz, zzz, zzz. And I'm like going, wow, that's powerful. My dad's like going, that's what you need right there. I said, Dad, shut up. The chainsaw I have is a $500 chainsaw. I'm not giving it up. So my neighbor goes through one piece of the tree, zero, and he lifts it up, and I can see his chains drooping. Now, any professional out there that knows anything about a chain and working with chainsaws, you know when that chain is loose on the bar like that, you've got to tighten that shit up, because if you don't, what's going to happen? That chain's going to pop right off, and you run the risk of that chain flying off, flipping around, and hitting you on top of your hand. That's why a lot of chainsaws have that guard on the front of them now. So he gets all through it, and he's proud, and he's looking at me. He's like going, hey, you want me to keep going? I'm like going, I pointed to him in the midst of me going, ying, ying, ying. So we're like yelling, you need to tighten that chain up. What? Tighten the chain up. Nah, it's good. Sure enough. Pops right up. Didn't hit him in the hands. And now he's down. So I'm like going, all right. So he came over, cut one log for me. My chainsaw has gone through the whole cycle of getting all the bad gas out of the fuel lines and stuff. And I'm just, next one, I'm just, chopping it up like freaking wet butter or hot butter. Hot butter through a hot knife. You know the analogy. And I get all the way down the end. And he goes, well, I wish I could have helped you, because he's sitting there with his Allen keys and trying to get the chain back on, and his battery died, so he's trying to put the battery back on. And he goes, I wish I could have helped you. I'm like going, see, man, I see you got to stick with what you know. I said, this gas power guy right here has done all these trees. I said, see all these little stumps that I've taken to the ground and all that. I said, this thing has cleared this forest for us to have this right here. That little chainsaw is cool. It's a nice little toy. It's a nice little hobby, but you need a man's tool. And he's like, well, you know, what did he say? Something about petrol fuel and how we get gas and stuff like that. And blah, 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 blah. We need to go to electric cars. And in the back of my mind, I go, oh, wait a minute. Aren't you an airline pilot? Don't those use so much gas? So much gas? And you're talking to me. Now we're friends. Don't get me wrong. We're not sitting here this not like a pissing contest. I was like going, do you see the irony between you using electric things but you literally work in something that eats up the most gas on the planet outside of, the shuttle or whatever that's out there. What's a shuttle? So that's what's happened for the last week. I hope you guys have all taken notes. I feel better about my test results, so I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing. I'm going to. I did ride the bike the other day. I rode it 2 miles, and when I say 2 miles here in the Carolinas, it's not flat surface. It's up and down and up and down. So 2 miles up and down. Oh man, the back of my legs are tired, and so. Hope someone has taken something from this and learned from this. If you have any questions or anything, make sure you go over to our Facebook page. Make sure you like us over on This Is 50 on Facebook. All right, guys. That's going to do it for this week. Okay. See you. Bye. One of those will be my death photo. All right, guys. Take care.